The question is, how do you sell your property on Hilton Head in a slow market? By the way, I get asked that question about 10 times a day, so I think it's something I'm fairly well qualified to talk about. Obviously, unless you've been living under a rock somewhere, you know what's going on in the real estate market. This has been a rough time and a tough time to sell your property. I've been here 30 years selling real estate on Hilton Head. I've never lived through anything like this. Basically, what we're seeing happen is the market topped out in June the 1st of 2005. Prices have adjusted, unfortunately, downward since then. Single-family homes have dropped about 35% since then. Condominiums or villas have dropped around 42 to 43%. And single-family lots have dropped about 65% since the top of the market June 1st, 2005. So you get in a situation where you're having to sell your property in today's market. In order to do that, you got to price it at what it's worth today, not what it was worth back then. We have people all the time say, well, I paid X for it. That's totally irrelevant. It's what it would sell for in today's market. And you got several factors that are driving that. First of all, inventories are at an all-time high. And as we know from basic economics 101, that inventory drives prices. That's in any commodity: corn, soybeans, cotton, gasoline, or homes. It's a commodity. Inventory drives prices. Inventory levels are high. Until the inventory levels drop below a 6-month inventory, you will continue to see properties be sluggish in price. Another factor that's affecting the market is the number of foreclosures and short sales. People always tell me, well, you know, that house is a foreclosure, it really doesn't count. Well, in the eyes of the buyer, it does count, because the buyer is well aware of what's going on in the market, and what they're willing to do is they're looking at what other properties are. So I tell people all the time, if you want to sell in today's market, you have to look at the inventory that's out there that's similar to yours and price your property in competition with the inventory. And if there are 2 or 3 foreclosures on your street, you got a problem, because whether you like it or not, you have to compete with the foreclosures. So you get into a situation where inventories are high, you got a lot of foreclosures, you got short sales, you got motivated sellers, and you're having to compete with all of those factors. And what that does, that decreases the value of your property. Another factor you can look at is how long your property has been on the market. If it's been on the market for over 4 or 5 months and you don't have an offer, usually there's 1 or 3 problems you have. It's either location, condition, or price. You can usually figure out which one is by figuring out which ones it's not. Usually it's not location on Hilton Head, it's not condition, it's usually price. So I tell people, if you don't have an offer on your house and hadn't sold, it's probably because there are other more attractively priced properties. That's just the way it is in today's market. It's a good time to buy, bad time to sell.